Hey everyone, so today we're just going to mess around with some booleans and hopefully get some kind of cool shapes coming out of them. So let's just jump right into Grasshopper. I'm just going to bring the perspective box out. Let's type in box. We'll do a center box for this. I'm going to type in 15 for the X and the Y. And let's just copy and paste that down. And let's make it slightly taller than its width and length. Okay, now I'm going to type in deconstruct brep. We're going to grab a face and basically generate some tubes that will go through there. What's the first one? We'll use that one. I'm just going to scale it down just a bit so we get the booleans happening more in the center. Okay, looks pretty good, Okay, and I'm going to move it out just a bit. We'll type in negative, and I'm going to just type in 2 for now. We're going to go in the Y direction. Just like that. Okay, let's move it out just a bit. This is going to be kind of our tube surface generator for this part. All right, and we're just going to type in populate geometry. I'm just going to type in, let's do 13 for now for the number of points going on there. And from here, we're just going to move them in a series in the Y direction. Let's do Y again, and we'll type in series. And the count for now, let's just do 5. And the move ratio, or move length, we'll do 7. And we'll plug that into our Y, plug it into the move. Okay, and we need to make sure it goes beyond the box. So I'm just going to move it out further and further. And we need to graft the move because you'll notice not all the points are moving in a series. We need to do it for every point. Let's type in graft. Okay, I'm going to increase the count just like that. And the next thing we're going to do is just move them randomly up and down. Let's type in Z for the vector. We're going to type in random. We'll need to construct a domain. Here we go. And we're going to type in, let's start off with 10. And we'll do positive and negative. So we'll go here to B and A. And the number of points, or numbers we need for this random to work, we'll just type in list length. Let's plug it into the move, plug it into the random, plug it into the Z, okay? And then from here, we're just going to type in interpolate. That'll generate some kind of squiggly lines going through our box there. And then let's randomize them even more. And maybe it's not going to be random. It's going to be more just rotation. So we're going to type in rotate. And from here, we'll type in rotate. And we're going to go around the XY. Let's type in series. We'll use the list length again. Plug it into here. And that'll go into the count. And let's do 25 for the rotation. And we'll just do something like that. This portion might have to be flattened. There we go. Okay, so that's starting to be rotated. And then let's rotate it around the center of each one of these lines. Maybe we should do that before we rotate around the XY. So what I'm going to do is just pull this out. We'll use it later. Actually, we could probably keep the same series for each. So I'm just going to pull this one down. We're going to type in evaluate curve. And basically what this does is from 0 to 1, basically it'll just evaluate the curve. So if we were to plug this into each one of these, you'll see that the point kind of rolls through it. And we might have to graft it out, but we'll just type in 0.5 for now. That'll get us centered on each curve. We probably don't need to flatten right now. Okay, we need to reparameterize this. There we go. So that would be on each of the center of each one of these. Okay, and then we're going to reuse this rotate. We're going to rotate around the, let's say, the XZ plane on each one of those points. Okay, and actually we do need to flatten this. Sorry. There we go. And then we're going to plug in that rotate into our second rotate. Then you'll start to get squiggly lines just going all the way through. Okay, looks a little high, so what I'm going to do is actually just move or scale the overall first plane down so we get it more central in there. And then from here, we're going to type in pipe. And the end cap, we're going to make sure it's round. We'll just plug it into the rotated curves there. And I'm just going to type in 2 for the radius, make it slightly bigger, maybe even bigger than that. There we go. And then we're just going to use, what's it called? It's a Boolean difference, but in here it's solid difference, I believe. Yep. And we're going to plug it all the way back to our initial box there. And we're going to plug it into our pipes, so A minus B. And we need to make sure the B is flattened. Otherwise we'll end up with a bunch of different B reps in there. We'll just give it a little time to process. And we can turn or hide everything. There we go. It's definitely starting to get some cool stuff happening. All right, so let's make the pipes bigger. I'm going to turn them just to 5. I'm trying to take away space, and we might have to increase the point count on the geometry side. So it looks like not every single pipe's actually going through, so we're going to go back to 4.5, and then we'll just increase the count like I just said. Wait for it to process. There we go. All right, let's turn this up to, let's say, 25. Give it some time here. Okay, looks like not every single one's actually working, so it might be because we have too many different curves going in here. So what I'm going to do is actually turn down the point count to like 4. Okay. And then we're going to turn the step count from when we move the points in the Y direction in a series. We're going to just turn everything up. There we go. Much better. Actually, I'm pretty happy with how that's looking already. Maybe we'll just go with that for now. Yeah, let's go with it. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to mesh this out. So we'll type in mesh brep, and then we're going to contour this in the Y direction. And why I'm doing it in a mesh is so when the lines come out for the overall contours, they'll be polylines rather than NURBS. And what that'll give us is we can explode them and start to generate the geometry we're looking for. So I'm going to type in Y vector. There we go. From here, you start to see we're getting some really cool figures starting to arise in there. Okay. And from here, what I want to do is we're just going to type in extrude. And we'll need to explode out the points. Or the curves, excuse me. Plug that into here. And let's, I guess we'll go with the Y vector again. We'll just plug the Y vector into there. We can put a number slider in there. And I think instead of having it going to be solid, I'm going to turn the actual extrusion down to be less than the contour. That way we'll get some nice striations happening on the sides when we start to give this some volume. And then the last couple steps here, I'm going to type in area, and we're going to rotate each one of these different surfaces around the area point there. And we can type in 45, and we're not going to rotate a lot. So I'm going to type in quotation mark 45, and then the last step, last few steps is we're just going to type in bounding box. That'll generate the geometry that we're looking for. And I'm going to type in mesh again. And I'm going to turn all this off so we can start to see what we're working with. I'm going to even turn off the bounding box. I'm going to turn off the mesh. That way it'll work a little bit faster. And we're going to just join all the meshes together. There we go. We'll just wait for it to process, and I think we'll be able to bake it out, unless we want to start to make the pipe size bigger. But let's just see what it looks like. Okay, let's go to render view. That's looking really cool. Relatively quick too. That's looking nice. I think we'll increase the extrusion just so we don't have that much space in between. It's definitely looking cool though. Okay, I'm gonna just, since we rotated it, I'm just gonna plug it into the contour depth. Wait for that to process real quick. Okay, let's see what that gives us. There we go, much better. Very cool. I like little portions like this that start to kind of just appear. All right, awesome. So I'm going to turn this even further down. Let's do 0.55. That'll give us some more detail. And then I might turn up the number of actual pipes. No, I actually like it the way it is, to tell the truth. What I might do though is on the populate geometry is turn the seed into a different number. So I'm going to bake this one out. And we're going to do kind of a double take on this model. And I'm just doing it so we kind of fill out the rendering a little bit more. So let's plug in a different seed for the populate, and that'll give us a brand new model. Wait for it to generate. All right, speed it up. There we go. Let's click that one to bake, see what it looks like. That one's just as cool. And you'll notice we have some kind of extra boxes happening. I'm just gonna hold Control Shift, delete them out. I guess we could hide them in the landscape too, but I think the top ones I really don't want. Control Shift, maybe it would be easier in a perspective view too. Okay, we're just gonna hold Control Shift again. Take out the tops. Take out the bottoms. There we go. So I'm thinking these are gonna be semi kind of just monolithic in nature. There we go. Okay. Next, I'm just gonna basically align these two models together and rotate one. Rotate. We could do this in Grasshopper too, but I feel like the definition's already long enough. Okay, let's go into perspective again, see what that's starting to look like. Very cool. That looks really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to join these together. Give it a second, and I'm going to use the gumball, tap Alt, and basically I'm just going to click and drag in one direction, and then click and drag in the other direction. Oop, maybe not that direction. Okay. We're going to double the geometry there. Which one is the new one? We're just going to change the layer really quick. I don't know, this one could be stucco. Okay, that's looking decent. Just kind of make sure it's semi-symmetrical with our first model. Awesome. Render view's looking pretty good, pretty good. Let's go and plan real quick, see where this model's actually sitting. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's pick our render view, do something like this maybe. Maybe something like that. Let's go to Arctic so we can get a little bit more detail on it. I like this a lot. Maybe we go ahead and undo a bunch. I'm going to unjoin the two models. We're going to just rotate this figure over there. That should start to show off some areas. Okay, so just do the same thing. Bring it over to here. Again, obviously your model would be different than mine. Let's go to Arctic one more time. So that's looking good. Actually, you know what? Why don't we just do 3? Or 2 different models, I guess I should say. Make kind of like a gateway through here, so have some sort of figure in the center. We could show off kind of the detail of each one of these. They don't have to be perfect either. Awesome. Okay. So I am going to join the 2 of these together. Maybe I'll raise the tops on them. Fill out, maybe it'll reach the sky in our actual rendering. Something like that. So the view is going to be maybe like this. Okay, maybe that's too tall. Bring it up just like that. Awesome. And then again, I'm just going to hit Tab, or hit Alt, and scale. Do the same for this one. Okay. Click on the smaller one there, the other one. There we go. We're just going to lift them up. So basically what will happen in our rendering is the regular size will start to bleed into the new size. It'll be kind of a unique little transformation. Excellent. So let's start making our landscape here. Actually, I'm going to join different models together. There we go. There we go. Okay, we'll change material on this one. This is going to be stone wall. Okay, and as usual, we're going to type in bounding box, lock down our model so we can start to generate some landscape. Okay, and we'll expand this out. Awesome. Type in rebuild. Okay, and let's say, let's make kind of a paths going through it. Just like that. I'm thinking this will be maybe the swamp, like a swamp layer potentially. Yeah, we could do it as a swamp layer, and then we'll have a layer that's a path that'll go kind of through here. Okay, let's do, let's say, let's make another plane. That'll be our grass layer. We'll lock down the swamp layer. This is also going to be our dirt layer for the pathway. Awesome. Okay, we'll type in rebuild. Get out our brush tool again. Let's just make some hills here. I'm going to try to do it as best as I can and get the dirt pathway kind of rising up. Doesn't have to be perfect, so we're going to probably just plant the heck out of it. So, okay, awesome. We'll lift this up looks great. And then I'm going to do a little bit more for the grass. Okay, just go through, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to smooth it out anyway, so just like that. Okay, lift it up again. And we'll just type in smooth. Oop, that's too smooth. Lost all our work. Excellent. Let's bring that lower. Looks great. We'll unlock everything. And something different we'll do this time is we're going to split the grass and the dirt stuff. So these two parts are connecting. So what I want to do is just take a line and we'll split these two up. There we go. These are going to be our grass. And down here will be our grass. So we can join all that together. Let's use that as grass there. Change this layer to pebbles for now. This will be, let's just call it sand. Awesome. This will be sand as well. No, it's underneath, doesn't matter. And we are all set for Lumion. All right, so we're in Lumion. It's looking pretty good, pretty light model. So let's start adding materials here. Let's get some soil happening. So let's go to various, go to soil. Let's use this one because it has like footprints in it. Let's get going on the grass here. Go to various, we'll do 3D grass. So that's looking good. So it's starting to fade from soil to grass. And then let's do like the swampland here. Which one? We got one like that, one like that. Kind of like this one. So that's looking pretty good so far. And now let's do the model. I'm going to do this one as some sort of stone on the outside there. Let's see, what else do we got? That looks pretty good. And then let's change this to something quite a bit lighter. Yeah. Let's make it shiny. Not that shiny. More glossy than anything. But it's looking good. All right, let's start adding in some vegetation here. Let's go to nature. Let's see. Let's do some fallen trees in some spots. A couple here. Let's get some kind of shrubs just around there. All right. Do a couple more, just kind of in the foreground there. Okay. Let's get some in the background. We could probably paint these in. I'm just going to go like this. This might be a lot, but I'm just trying to fill up background space. Okay, and then we should get some new growth coming in as well. I'm just going to sprinkle some shrubs just here and there. And then we'll put some kind of green areas kind of on the grass portion there. What do we have? Plants. It looks to be like it would be in a marsh. Sure, this looks great. All right, I'm going to zoom over here. We're just going to go all the way around. I think this is pretty low-lying plants. Do it one more time. And what I want to do next, do a few placed sporadically through here. there. Okay, let's add a person walking. Let's see, maybe someone with a jacket. Maybe use this lady. Get her right in the center there. Just walking between the two. Awesome. We might have to add some plants through here, but let's pick our shot real quick. Okay. Do realistic. Let's get on our ground there. Okay, I'm just going to save this view. Let's fix our camera. There we go. Let's get centered out. I'm going to bring focal length higher. So that'll make it seem like we're getting the most out of the real estate there, as well as getting some detail of the model. That's going to look pretty good. I might scale her down quite a bit. I'm going to save this view. Let's just go ahead and do it while we're at it. I'm going to scale this tree trunk down as well. Ooh, what happened? Otherwise it's kind of in the way. Okay, let's go back to our view. It's looking good. Make sure these are kind of spaced equally. Okay, we're just going to go up, make sure we can fill the frame here. Trying to line up the references. And then I don't mind this tree, but it might be a little bit distracting. So we're just going to delete it out. There's one right behind it as well. Where are you at? Oh, it's floating. That's why. Delete. Can't have floating trees. This one's floating as well. I guess those don't really matter. Okay, let's go back. Actually, we're going to need this anyway, just to fill out kind of compositionally space there. Let's put some sparrows kind of flying. All right, go back to our view. And we're going to make it a little bit moody. So birds look good. I might go to FX, go to animation, do a little time warp so these guys kind of move around a little bit more. See a lot of birds on the ground. I know they can fly low, but I don't want them to be that low. Let's go ahead and select them. Lift them up. Okay. Much better. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Let's put a sun in. I'll bring this really low. Change the heading just a bit. Where's the sun at? There we go. Bring it around so we get some detail on the actual model there. Excellent. Then our real skies, I'm going to change the heading on that. And we'll change the sky out as well so we get kind of an overcast day. Something like that, potentially. That's looking pretty good. All right. And let's get some fog happening with our weather. Precipitation. I'm going to turn off the quantity to 0. And we're going to bring in the fog. It's not too foggy in there. Let's bring in even more in. There we go. That's looking awesome. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and try out the rendering. Okay, let's do 84. Yeah, so we're just gonna try to brighten it up just a little bit in Photoshop. And we probably should mess with the sun one more time, but it's looking really good. Let's bring the sun height up. That looks great. And then the last thing I'm just going to try out is on that tile material. Let's go ahead and see if we can add some foliage on there, just near the base. Oh shoot, we need to turn our spread up. There we go. Sorry, I'm doing this all like one-handed at the moment. There we go. Okay, bring this up. Awesome. Let's go ahead and render that out. I might make it actually neon green, just so it kind of pops. There we go. And I believe we're ready to hit the final render button. Awesome. So we'll head over to Photoshop next. All right, so what I want to really do is just kind of focus in on here and try to brighten it up as much as we can. So I'm going to hit Control J to duplicate, and we're going to go up to the image. We're going to go to brightness contrast. Let's just bring it up. So that looks pretty good to me. The top's getting a little bit too bright, so I'm going to use my erase tool and just go all the way through here. Just bring it all to one level. There we go. And we'll just join those or merge those layers together. Can't use Rhino terminology in Photoshop. Okay, and then through here I'm just going to use the burn dodge tool. Just try to brighten up some of the greens happening. All through the little space there. Let's make sure her jacket really pops. Okay, and then let's brighten up the whites here. Okay. And then, of course, we'll go back and make our vignetting, and we'll be all finished. So to everyone, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you make something similar, please tag and Instagram it so I can see. Really enjoy looking at you guys' projects, and it's pretty exciting to see people come together. So thank you, and I will be talking with you all very soon.